In 1842, Sir Richard Eoin coined the term dinosauria. Based on 3 incomplete fossils, he postulated that dinosaurs, with a similar thorax to crocodiles, may have had a 4-chambered heart, and a circulatory system similar to that of modern warm-blooded vertebrates. Eoin's theories, while never dismissed, were rather set aside in favour of fantasy, and for more than a century after their naming, dinosaurs were described as cold-blooded, ancient, reptilian creatures lumbering across the prehistoric Earth. In 1964, John Ostrom described fossil remains of Deinonychus, a raptor whose skeleton indicated a highly active predatory lifestyle, which contradicted previous notions of dinosaur anatomy. This perception continued to change throughout the late 20th century, driven by Robert Bakker's 1986 book, The Dinosaur Heresies.
Dinosaurs had previously been assumed to be ectotherms, or cold-blooded. However, Robert Bakker popularised the idea that dinosaurs may have been endotherms, or warm-blooded creatures. He noted that T-Rex legs were built for speed, and a cold-blooded reptile with a slow metabolism would be unequipped with the heart necessary to pump oxygen to its powerful legs. Reptiles are known to have a narrow, constricted rib cage. Instead, the fossil record showed that T-Rex had a large rib cage, which could accommodate a heart necessary for its athletic stature. He found hollow cavities and air sacs in the vertebrae of dinosaurs, which could have been connected to the lungs by tubes. This is a physiological trait seen today in warm-blooded animals such as birds, in order to provide a more efficient exchange of oxygen.
Dinosaurs dominated over mammals in terrestrial ecosystems throughout the Mesozoic. This would not have been possible if dinosaurs were cold-blooded, as they would be lacking in the required muscular power to do so. The study looked at blood and muscle lactate measurements of a crocodile. The results suggest that a 200 kg crocodile can only produce about 14% of the muscular power of a similar-sized mammal exercising at its peak performance. Considering this finding, it can be concluded that cold-blooded crocodiles lack not only the absolute power for exercise, but also the endurance evident in warm-blooded mammals today. This finding suggests dinosaurs may have been warm-blooded.
Historically, a key argument in support of dinosaurs as ectotherms or cold-blooded has been the relationship between an ectothermic animal and ambient climate. Ectotherms show pronounced cyclical growth arrest marks on bone tissue, which correlate to an annual decrease in body temperature and metabolic rate, and therefore an annual decrease in overall growth rate. It had been assumed that endotherms, or warm-blooded animals, grow continuously due to their high body temperature and sustained metabolic rate. However, a recent study of globally distributed ruminants, like cows or deer, has shown that they too adjust their growth rate to match the season, with growth restricted or enhanced at different times throughout the year. The authors of this paper claim that this debunks the argument that the evidence of arrested growth rings in dinosaur bones is evidence of a cold-blooded lifestyle, given that warm-blooded animals too adapt to their local climate. Robert Bakker rediscovered previously forgotten works from the 1930s on dinosaur bones, which demonstrated a complex system of haversian canals similar to those found in modern mammals and unseen in reptiles. They also suggested the extensive formation of blood vessels in the fibrolamellar bone in most dinosaurs is linked to peak performance in the metabolism of endotherms.
Hypothesized upright neck postures in sauropod dinosaurs requires extreme blood pressures, equivalent to 7 times that of a fin whale. Recently acquired data on wall stress within the heart indicate that their left ventricles would have weighed 15 times that of a similarly sized whale. This size would be distinctly disadvantageous and highly unlikely in an endothermic sauropod. Gigantothermy has also been proposed as a mechanism for how larger dinosaurs may have thermoregulated. In modern endothermic animals, mass-to-surface area ratio limits its maximum size, as a high metabolic rate, combined with high activity rates and inefficient heat transfer to surroundings, may lead to overheating and heat stroke. It is believed that the modern African elephant is at the upper size limit for endothermic animals. Gigantothermy suggests that large dinosaurs had a low metabolic rate with a poor mass-to-surface area ratio, which limited heat loss, allowing them to grow to huge sizes without the need for huge amounts of food.
However, there is a growing body of evidence which suggests that rather than being endothermic or ectothermic, dinosaurs may have been somewhere in between, a lukewarm-blooded mesothermic animal. Recent isotopic eggshell analysis has shown that there were thermoregulatory differences between certain species of dinosaur, such as Titanosaurid and Oviraptorid, with evidence to suggest they were neither endotherms nor ectotherms. Dinosaurs may have had a lukewarm mesothermic metabolism.
Throughout their reign on Earth, it is suggested that dinosaurs dominated the land by consuming vast amounts of food which were available in order to maintain their active endothermic lifestyle. Alvarez et al. Proposed in a seminal paper from 1980 that the KT mass extinction was driven by extraterrestrial causes, namely a catastrophic bolide impact. It has recently been suggested that in the aftermath of the impact, dinosaurs may have become fully extinct due to their inability to maintain their high blood temperatures. In the aftermath of the catastrophic KT impact, there was a radical yet short-lasting limitation of solar energy, which caused global depletion of food sources. This reduction in the availability of food meant that any dinosaurs which had survived the bolide impact were unable to consume enough food to sustain themselves.
Throughout the history of dinosaur study, from first discovery in 1824 to recent published material, the subject of whether these creatures were warm or cold-blooded has been hotly debated.
As new evidence constantly emerges and scientific methods become more advanced, it is probable that someday there will be a widely accepted answer on whether dinosaurs were ectotherms, endotherms, or somewhere in between.
In this three-horse race, it would seem the endothermic theory is just a nose in front of the mesothermic, with the sluggish, cold-blooded ectotherms trailing up the rear. But on the giant stage of the dinosaurs, this is the Grand National, and anything can happen before the final post.
There must be some kind of dinosaur who can assist me with some advice. Was her blood warm like the desert sun, or was it cold as ice? Man, I read some peer-reviewed papers have stated with convincing rhetoric that these mystic ancient creatures have been mesothermic all along the spectrum of blood temperature. There are many accomplished scientists who believe their answers are the correct one for sure. But outside in the cold Paleozoic strata, very deep beneath the ground, there must be some kind of dinosaur who holds the answer, just waiting to be found.